It's crazy because I was reflecting and I realized I lost every woman that I was good to and really trying to be good to. So what does that really mean? I need to unpack that.
If a man ever said his ex left him and he make it seem like he did everything for her and she was so unappreciative and she was so ungrateful, you're gonna see exactly why that woman left. Women do not leave good men.
A lot of the times, men think that they fucked up a relationship just because the female left him. But what she's not gonna tell him, especially as of right now, is she left because it was just how she was feeling in the moment.
There's been a lot of conversation lately about women leaving good men or women walking away from a man that's a quote unquote good man. And I think a part of the problem is that a lot of men define themselves as good men and they actually aren't.
We hear this phrase all the time. She left a good man. But a good man, according to who, is the real question. Because sometimes women really do leave good men. But sometimes it's men assuming that they're good, but women don't see it from the same perspective. So which one is it? She left a good man? Or a good man is not really as good as we think they are? Well, we're here to talk about it. But before we get into the video, it's your boy JP. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. During the process, we keep it PG. There's a whole lot of prosperity going on around this mug, you feel me? Without further ado, let's get into the video.
It's crazy because I was reflecting and I realized I lost every woman that I was good to and really trying to be good to. So what does that really mean? I need to unpack that. Because when I'm not good to them, they stay. When I'm good to them, they leave.
The way some of y'all are coming on this app and telling everybody about how you're leaving perfectly good men and perfectly good relationships just because, like, for the hell of it all, it is absolutely absurd. Like, the amount of thought that you have put into exiting stage left with the quickness and then writing complete soliloquies on the situation, sharing your telenovela on this app, telling people about how great this guy is, but then you left him. Like, homie should really be like, thanks. Because all you're doing is sending a whole flock of women his way. But now, instead of finding a man who is this great guy, you've now rejected him for being this great guy. And now he's going to think he needs to be different. Like, the reason that some of these men come out here and turn into Future and Nick Cannon on y'all is because a whole bunch of idiots did exactly what these girls are doing now. So, ladies, if you happen to be coming behind a girl who left a relationship for no apparent reason, who came on the internet to share her enlightened stage left exit on a perfectly good man, I want you to tell that man it is not him. There is nothing he could have done differently or needs to do differently to be better. The problem was her. She's just not ready for a relationship. So continue to be you. Don't let her change you.
I like that message. I do. It's something a few things I want to address in that, but I do like that message overall though. Here's the thing though. If you are a man and you are, let's say, now, one thing I do want to say, if the women are announcing that they left a good man, then according to that woman, he was a good man and she still left. Yeah, she a piece of shit. I can't defend that. You knew he was a good man and you still didn't want to like make it work. Of course, you're not gonna be. It takes rapport to build a good relationship. You just didn't want to go through the rapport stage of really building it. You just thought it was some fairy tale that's supposed to work from the beginning. That ain't how that worked. You just didn't want to work because relationship is a 4-letter word. It's love, but it's also work, dog. Straight up. But anyway, with that being said, I also want to speak on what she was talking about when she was like, if a man turns into a bad guy because a woman left him when he was being a good man and now he's a bad guy because of that, you need to get out of that. We are too grown. Now, I get it. Now, everybody has arrived there yet, but we are too grown for us to still be doing this shit. We are too grown to be turning into we are too grown as men to be turning into bad men because women that we were really attracted to turned us down because we was too nice. You need to chill out. Now, again, you can stand up for yourself, but if you are the man to turn into a bad person because a woman turned you down because you was too nice, that just means that she really didn't turn you down because you was too nice. She turned you down because you didn't have no real backbone. Because if you are too nice, but a woman can change you out of that, then it wasn't because you were too nice. It's because you had no backbone. A woman should not be able to change who you are. If you're a good person at heart and that's who you really want to be, then be that. Regardless of how that woman saw you, regardless if that woman said that you was too nice, well then she's just not good enough for you and she need to kick rocks. That's what that is. It ain't got nothing to do with you. Yeah, you might be whatever. Y'all just might not be compatible. But if you be treating her right and doing right for her, and she can't find value in that, don't let that change you into somebody you're not. I know that's easier said than done, but the fact that you're able to change because of her shows your lack of leadership. So the next woman shouldn't have to come and tell you that it wasn't you, it was her. You should already know that, especially before getting into another relationship. If you can't decipher that before you get into the next relationship, you just gonna recreate that problem with the next girl. Heal before you get in a relationship. Do your shadow work before you get in another relationship so you don't repeat the same problems. But let's continue.
If a man ever said his ex left him and he make it seem like he did everything for her and she was so unappreciative and she was so ungrateful, you're going to see exactly why that woman left. Women do not leave good men.
I was about to go to bed. I was doom scrolling through TikTok, about to fall asleep. I was calling it for a night. But then I saw this video. Did she just say, women don't leave good men? Did she just say, women don't leave good men? I'm a man right here, and I'll admit that men leave good women.
Right.
And women leave good men. What are you talking about?
Right.
Were we not just a couple weeks talking about that lady that left her husband because she said he was too perfect? She said he was too perfect. Everything was too safe. Everything was too stable. So she left her husband. Then we had another video. Where Shorty left her stable, secure husband because she felt like her life didn't have enough excitement. Then she tried to go start dating again. And she realized that nobody outside cares about her the way her husband did. But then by the time she realized that her husband didn't want her back. How out of touch do you have to be to get up on here on the internet and say women don't leave good men?
She ain't out of touch. She's just a super girl's girl. That's what she is. When it's some women that are so pro women, which is nothing wrong with being pro women. But if you are so pro anything that you are ignorant to the red flags of said whatever you're pro of, that's a problem. You lack an accountability problem. And I'm not saying you need to dog on the people you pro, no. But except that, like he said, in reality, good men leave good women and good women leave good men. Hell, good men leave good men if you rock like that, and good women leave good women if you rock like that. Hey, that's on you. You do your thing. But I'm just saying, it's a people thing. People just always think the grass is greener because they either don't want to compromise or they don't want to do the said work that relationship actually takes, because they just want everything to be peaches and cream straight out of it. A lot of us are all taught that relationships just supposed to naturally work. Yeah, it can naturally be organic to get into, but to maintain it in every relationship takes real work. I don't care what nobody else tell you. It's either it takes real work or both of y'all are just avoiding conflicts the whole time. One or the other, but it takes work though.
This is crazy.
I just got done seeing this video where this lady was breaking down how it's hard to leave men when they present as like good guys, because they're not like abusive or like overtly abusive, and they show up when you tell them to show up and they do everything you ask them to do. And so it's like, well, to the world it's like, well, damn, that's a good guy, right? But to a person in a relationship, to the women in the relationship, that man is still not enough. And I really need for men to understand this. I remember a long time ago, before my nephew, beautiful person, one of the most beautiful people that I know, Um, he struggled though early on in his employment, right? I did too, to be honest with you, but he struggled more than me. And I remember one time hearing this story from my brother, his father, about how he got fired from his most recent job. He had a decent job. It was at a grocery store, right? And the way he got fired was he wasn't a bad employee. Like, he wouldn't talk back. He was always on time. You know what I'm saying? So similar to the man, he was there. He was present, right? But one of his jobs was to collect the carts, right? And another one of his jobs was to bag groceries. So those were his two main jobs. The manager always had to tell him to bag the groceries or go get the carts. He never figured out how to do it on his own proactively without somebody telling him to do so. And guess what happened? He got fired. Was he a bad employee? Like, was he stealing? Was he stealing time? Would he be on his phone? And was he lazy? Nope. But when he wasn't told what to do, he would just stand around and wait. And I think we all could understand why he would be considered a bad employee in that instance, right? But men can't understand how you are a bad partner when you do the exact same thing in a relationship. Just because you're there doesn't make you a good partner. Just because you do what she asks you to do doesn't make you a good partner, right? You're still deficient because that is labor that you are putting onto her. Why do you need for her to tell you to clean up? Why do you need for her to tell you to help out? Why do you need for her to tell you she wants to talk to you more? Why don't you just show up? Why don't you be proactive? And if
And I agree. I'm gonna let him finish, but I agree because that's the necessary work that relationships have. Because if you want growth, and I like that he used a correlation like that because I typically do that with the same logic. I always say if you can put your logic in different scenarios, even though they're wide apart, if you can put that same logic in different scenarios and it still works, it's good logic, and that's some good logic. Because at the end of the day, growth is something that happens internally. And if you in a relationship with somebody that truly cares about you and you truly care about them and you're doing the shadow work, that's why I'm big on shadow work. Because if the guy did the shadow work, he would realize the correlation between the two, or people would realize the correlation between the two, and they would do the shadow work to avoid that happening to them. And if you really care about the person you're in a relationship with, you would do that work to be a better person for them. It's just something that you got to do because that's where growth comes from. You can't just think, oh, maintaining a relationship is just doing what somebody tells me to do. That's not growth. That's just complacency and settling. And people don't want to do that. Especially women that's dating men that they expect to be masculine and leaders, but you're not doing none of that because you're just maintaining it by just, hey, I just work here. Nigga. Don't be in a relationship where I just work here energy. That's whack. I definitely agree with the brother. He killing it for sure.
a woman grows tired and weary of that and she leaves you, she is well within her rights to do so. Like, that is actually a valid reason to leave a person.
Some women have a very hard time getting over men because they actually have good taste. And what I mean by that, some women, they can leave a man alone because maybe they were in a bad spot in their life when they met the man. He didn't have much going for him. He was a dub ass nigga. And it's just like, his laws, he's not gonna find a bitch like me. He's just gonna fuck with the next stupid bitch and, drag her through the mud. Cool. But a bitch who didn't find a nigga who's actually good to her and a good man and got a good job and got good attributes and y'all just didn't work out, that be the hardest breakups. That be the shit where you really can't stroke your ego for real because he gonna find a new bitch. The bitch might even be on your level. And I ain't saying to think a bitch is above you because ain't nobody above you, but you feel me? She might make a couple of more dollars than you do. She might drive a nicer car than you.
But that's all ego though. That's ego because you should, if you truly cared about that person, you should still want them to succeed. And if they find somebody better, there's nothing wrong with that. What people need to start to understand, and I can understand by her lingo, because I'm a nigga too. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm a nigga too, so I can understand by her lingo, by the way she talking. She's probably used to a relationship that always ends on bad terms. So when the relationship don't end on bad terms, it's like, well, I don't want you to find nobody better than me because it's gonna make me feel like I missed out. But see, that's your ego checking you. What you need to start to look at it as, and this is where it's important that people look at relationships like this, is that you need to look at it as y'all just wasn't compatible. So I hope if we don't work out and we're not compatible, that you do go find somebody you are more compatible with that can encourage you to grow or can encourage you to be more uh to encourage you to compromise more with the relationship than I was able to make you do. And I hope that I can go find somebody that I have those same benefits with and that I am also more compatible with in those terms when it comes to a relationship too. But what happens is a lot of people don't look at it like that. They just assume, well, if the relationship don't work, I don't want you to do better. That's your mind reverting back to toxic relationships. Yeah, of course, if somebody did you wrong, you don't want them to succeed after doing you wrong. But if y'all just ended it because it just didn't work out, because y'all just wasn't compatible, no, still wish well for them. Just understand that our relationship styles just wasn't compatible. So I hope you find somebody, and I hope I do too. You know what I mean? But again, I get it from her lingo. We don't really look at it like that because that ain't what we used to. Right? We gotta go past that.
These bum ass niggas, and I'm not trying to say that y'all also don't be crashing out with these bum ass niggas, which y'all definitely do. But I feel like it's easier to convince yourself that, oh, I'm better than him, I'm above him, or whatever, than a bitch who really fuck with good ass men all the time. Like, who got great taste all the time. Who always attracted a man that could deserve her time in marriage.
A lot of the times, men think that they fucked up a relationship just because the female left him. But what she's not gonna tell him, especially as of right now, is she left because it was just how she was feeling in the moment. Me personally, I'm fortunate enough to be smart enough to not leave based on feelings, right? Because I'm a committed person. But a lot of these females, they're a little immature and it's just like in the moment. It's an in the moment thing. And then they're all like, shit, I left, but how can I even come back from that? Like, it's kind of embarrassing for her because it's all like, I left for no reason, and if I come back, then I'm gonna look stupid, right?
I want y'all to notice something, and this is no shot at her. All due respect to her for sure, but and she's making a point that can be true in a lot of different scenarios. Not all of them, but it can be true in some of them, right? But this is something that you gotta be wary about when you listen to people talk. Why is she calling women females like she's not a woman herself? I'm a man. And sometimes as men, I don't really do it, but I get that sometimes as men call women females. I've seen online a lot that women don't like when men call them females. And as her being a woman, I'm sure she's hip to women not liking that. But she's saying it anyway. It's like microaggressions. It's like she's throwing little microaggressions to show you what side of the fence she really stands on. And I'm not saying that you can't pick a side of the fence that you really stand on. By all means, you have the right to stand on whatever side of the fence you really on. But when you throw little microaggressions out there to let the world know, like passive microaggressions to let the world know what you trying to imply subconsciously, it almost makes your whole point fall apart, not fall apart, but just be thrown out the window because now it's like, are you pandering or you just really speaking how you really feel? Because your microaggressions make you feel like you pandering. And that's what it sounds like she's doing. I'm just being fair. Again, I'm gonna listen to her point. I'm listening to her and she's making some okay points. It's just the fact that when she said female, I'm like, why are you saying that? You a woman. Just say women. But now I'm like, oh, you sound like you might be pandering. I know what you're doing. You gotta be hip to that because if you don't really recognize those things, you just think that she's just being fair, but she really might not be. But I'm just saying, let's continue.
Like, I'm telling you, a lot of women have egos, so it might take them a long time to come back. With me personally, I'm humble. I'm very humble. So if I leave a man because I was being a little stupid and impulsive, I'm gonna come back and admit it, right? I mean, it's not gonna take
Yeah.
me 1 hour to realize that, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like, maybe you didn't fuck up. Maybe she was just trying to protect herself, and she was being a little sabotagic. So at the end of the day, like, I'm not telling you that you are perfect. We both know that you weren't. But what I'm saying is, like, you guys need to understand. Women don't be all like, oh, I'm just gonna leave this guy because he disrespected me. No, it's, I'm gonna leave this guy because I feel upset that he's not doing this for me. And I'm like,
And that's true. There's some truth to that. Like, you don't fit the aesthetic. And again, that's just a lack of a compatibility issue. And as a man, you shouldn't, again, I agree with her. You shouldn't take that as an L. That's just somebody that just don't rock with your relationship lifestyle. Now, if you're not putting in the effort like the other brother was talking about, and you recognize a pattern, you need to be checking that. But yeah, let's see if she really being transparent.
sure, I guess women mentally check out before they leave. But a lot of the times, that's not the case. Like, a female can be so emotional that she just leaves you, right? Because she has these standards in her head, and then you're not doing it, and it's like, ah, I'm gonna leave, right? So, yeah, take accountability for the contribution that you made to it. But I don't want you to put the full blame on yourself because, like, no, no. And of course, women are gonna go in my comments and they're not gonna admit to this, right? Why would they? Like I told y'all, because it's embarrassing. They're not humble enough to admit this. So, yeah.
It's crazy because she said women and then she said female and then she said women. That female, it was intentional. Either that or she got a whole lot of brothers and she just talk like that because she got a lot of brothers or something. But all right, but she ain't wrong in the whole sense. But that's just not the full truth because not that you don't want to throw everybody in one box. But she got some points.
I'm the one that's gonna fucking tell y'all the fucking truth. But these women are all like,
Right.
not me though, not me though. They're not self aware enough to realize that they're a problem in some sort of capacity. Sure, it may be true that some women ain't like that, but you get to decipher this, not a random chick in my comments trying to disagree with the shit that I say. I don't believe them unless I believe them. Okay? Because what they're not doing is, yeah, they're saying, I'm not like that, but they're not giving context like, oh, your ex like slapped you into tomorrow and you didn't come back to him. Oh, yeah, well, right. 101 coaching in bio.
There's been a lot of
Ah. 101 coaching and bio. We got it. It makes sense. And now it's starting to make sense. Now this lady, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. She it's something about her, dog. I can't stand this lady. Every time I see her video pop up on my TikTok, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Every time I see her video, just her face pop up on my TikTok, and that dang, oh my god, I gotta scroll. But I wanted to give her a fair shot to see how she was gonna expand on this topic. So I was like, I'm just gonna have to put her in the video to be fair, right? But she gives me strong I hate men vibes, and you can hear it. And not only do she give that tone, you can hear it, like I said, you can hear it in her voice, you can hear it in her whole aura that like she got some real baggage and hate for men that she has never let go. And she puts it in every one of her videos. It's so bad. I feel like Kendrick Lamar. Like, I hate the way she framed her videos. I hate how she like all in the goddamn camera. Like, it just everything about her gets on my goddamn nerves, dog. But we about to get into this video. Let's see what she's talking about.
conversation lately about women leaving good men or women walking away from a man that's a quote unquote good man. And I think a part of the problem is that a lot of men define themselves as good men and they actually aren't. These self proclaimed good men think that they are because they don't cheat on women or beat on women. But it takes more to being a good man than not doing those things. And just because a man
That's
is a quote
true.
unquote good man doesn't mean he's the good man for you. Some of these quote
That's true
unquote good
too.
men don't respect women. They weaponize their incompetence. They don't take care of their children. They're disrespectful. They consume manosphere, red pill content all day, and they think that women are beneath them. I feel like the
Yeah.
men who are acting as if women are being too picky or we're looking for the perfect man if we don't want the quote unquote good guy, it's the same energy as saying for them to settle. It's like the saying goes, give a man 10 women and he'll keep looking, give a woman 10 men and she'll choose. They want you to choose out of this small batch of men and say, hey, out of these 10 guys, which one do you want? Yeah, but there's more than 10 guys out there. And
I do agree with that. She got a lot of passion in her video. To have that much passion in every video, it's either you're just really good at being his character or there's a lot of hate that you ain't let go of straight up. But anyway, she got some points though. I ain't gonna knock it. She got some points. Thing is though, again, you will never, and let a nigga lie to you and let a woman lie to you. You will never find somebody that checks every single box in your life. You won't. You will compromise on something. Mark my word. And if you can find somebody that's now religious people gonna tell you that they not doing that they don't compromise, that God gave them the perfect woman, they didn't have to compromise on nothing. Yeah, let them keep lying to you. Let them keep lying to you until you ain't compromised. Listen, I'm telling you, with human psychology, you will compromise on something, whether you know you are or you don't. So if you got this mindset that the man that I meet will check every single box, you will be seen at every single singles event for the rest of your life until you decide to stop going.
even if he's the nicest out of the 10, doesn't mean that he's what I want. These men want single women to say close enough, he's good enough, he'll do, but that's not what men say. They take their
This is why I don't like her, bro. Oh my God. That's not what men say. Yes, men do say that. A lot of men say that. Do every man say that? Do the red pill men say that? No, they don't say that. But you are the female version of that, I guess, right? But no, average everyday men do say that. Oh my God, this is why I don't like this lady.
time. They're in no rush to find what they want, but they want to rush you along. They want to make you feel like you're up against the clock. You're running out of time. Your childbearing years are over. That's why they try to tell you that after 25 you're no good and all that. They have a vested interest and
she's even having red pill talking points. After 25, you're no good. You only listen to red pill niggas. That's why you got this man mindset that I guess, dog. Go ahead.
hurry you up and pick
Get your rocks off. Go ahead and do your thing.
time, they wouldn't even get picked.
Man, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments before this video get too long. Man, do women leave good men? Sure. But y'all let me know in the comments, because at the end of the day, relationships take compromise. I'm not telling you to settle, but compromise means have your negotiables and have your non-negotiables. Some things in your non-negotiables you might just have to let rock. If they're a good person, you be like, hey, like she didn't want it. Like, hey, that's good enough. I can rock with this. And rock with it and let the relationship grow. Before you know it, maybe that non-negotiable turned into something that you actually really started liking because you allowed somebody else to add value to your life when you didn't think you needed value added to. You know what I mean? With that being said, make sure y'all hit the like and subscribe button. Join the Prosper Gang. We keeping it PG. There is a whole lot of prosperity going on around this mug. You feel me? And remember, there is nothing impossible. The day we try. Till next time I'm out, dude.